Joined now by Cape Breton Eagles athletic therapist Justin Sonea. Justin, your second year with the Eagles, how do you enjoy life in Cape Breton?
It's pretty good, especially every time I came back in August, enjoying the end of the summer. It was always nice when you had a couple of days off. Always awesome to enjoy, especially for me, the Highlands for hiking.
What made you decide and want to get into athletic therapy?
Growing up, I played lots of sports and had issues with injuries, and the ability of coming back from injuries and starting to play again is something that I felt I didn't necessarily always had the chance to get, and wanted to be able to get that for myself, but offer that to other people and help them achieve their goals and get back from when you don't think you can necessarily get back, and get back to a higher level of play following an injury.
You come to Cape Breton having graduated from Concordia, which is sort of like a pipeline for QMJHL therapists, but you also have had some opportunity to work with the Montreal Canadiens. Tell us a little bit about that.
Throughout school, we had 4 internships to do. I was pretty lucky that I got to pass a full season with the Habs. So I was there in 2016, 2017. It was a great season with them. It was an awesome experience. Got to do rookie camp, got to do development camp in the summer. We lost the first round of playoffs, so I got to experience a bit of playoffs with them too, which was pretty awesome. So I was there as a student, so working at the practice facilities. Didn't travel with them, but I got to experience some of the lifestyle and how awesome the therapists that work with them are at another level, and just try to learn from them as much as I could, and hopefully one day get to their level in terms of how good they are.
Walk us through what a general day looks like for Justin Sonea and the athletic therapists around the league.
Normal day, so if it's the practice day, I'm there for anything for the players almost. So in terms of little discomfort to injuries, I'm the one that goes on the ice when it's the bigger injuries, or if it's small injuries, when a guy comes to me, assess the injury, follows what the needs are of any injuries for the boys, come up with the treatment plan and what's needed for them, do the whole rehabilitation. I also take part in everything that's strength and conditioning for the boys in terms of warm-up, cool-downs, their workouts. I work with Lauren, who's their strength coach, in terms of planning the schedule for the workouts and making sure the boys have everything they need for each specific goals and what they need to achieve throughout the season. So anything health related, if they need to see a doctor, I book those for them. Dentist, I'll follow up sometimes with the team chiropractor, team physiotherapist when we're on the road also. If I need second opinion, all those things, I manage all of that, fitting that with their school and hockey schedule, and trying to make sure they have everything so they can perform and get better and achieve their personal goals.
What challenges and what differences have there been in your job with the pandemic?
There's lots. For myself, while I'm in charge of monitoring everyone related to the team in terms of symptoms, so that includes billets, office staff, and staff that's in contact with players and players. So everyone has an app to fill in daily in terms of symptoms. So I'm monitoring that every time someone has symptoms. I'm the one that has to follow up and make sure all the steps are following the league protocol, but also the province protocol. On top of that, it's making sure supervising and sometimes doing it myself in terms of taking temperatures of everyone coming to the rink, all the cleaning involved around also that's multiplied, and all the new products we're using, washing the bottles every time it's touched. Everything that basically is touched by someone needs to be cleaned after. So lots of little procedures and changes in that environment that you wouldn't think about sometimes, but lots of different things.
Perhaps more than anybody, you're affected by what's going on in the outside world now. You're primarily a hockey guy, obviously, but you've worked a little bit in rugby, a little bit in basketball. What are some of the differences between the different sports in terms of things on the therapy side, and how much of it is universal?
Universal in terms of the role stays about the same. Obviously, from sports to sports, you'll see some sports get more of an injury. The longer you work with one sport, you kind of get a bit more of a master at certain injuries. So if you look at hockey, lots of hip and shoulder stuff, mainly due to contact. But if you look at rugby, there's lots and lots and lots of bleed, big impact. So that's the difference there. But obviously every sport has their little things, lots of ankles in basketball. So you get kind of specialized a little bit more once you do more of the sport in terms of the injuries you're used to dealing with. But you always got to make sure you stay on top of everything, because you always get once or a weird injury that's out of the ordinary for a sport. But in terms of the daily life, obviously, it's very similar in terms of the response you bring to the team, no matter the sport, I'd say.
You worked a year in Alberta Junior A with Lloyd Minster, and you were the equipment manager as well. How heavy was that workload, and how much did that help you before you came to the Q?
That's obviously a heavier workload. doing the therapy, helping out with the strength and conditioning. Again, we had a strength coach for the team, but I was taking care of the strength and conditioning of the injured guys and helping out also around. And on top of that, taking care of equipment. The big difference, I'd say, with junior A, well, the players and staff all knew that I was alone doing all of those things. So we had a couple of systems that got the players a little bit more involved in some of the tasks around to free me up for more time for treatments and stuff like that. But a lot of time management, that's for sure. That helped me how to learn to manage all those things and get better at my job, actually, and just allow me to be able to prioritize what's the most important at what time and go from there, I guess.
Very good that you can apply those skills now in Cape Breton. Thanks for telling us all about it, Justin. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thanks.
That's Justin Sonea, the Eagles athletic therapist, joining us on the intermission. You're listening to McDonald Auto Hub, Cape Breton Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.